Hey guys, I'm super excited to be with you, and I'm so honored that Adam and Allie at the Wonder Jam asked me to speak with you about personality. And I don't know where you are on your journey, but I know for me, my personality, I've always felt like I've had to justify it. And as I was approaching 40, I was like, who am I? And just started to unlayer who I am. And I did it by taking 1.5 million, I felt like, personality tests. It wasn't really 1.5 million, but you're just like, oh, I'll sign up for this or I'll do this and we'll see. Or somebody says, hey, you should take this assessment. It's really been life giving to me, et cetera, et cetera. But then you take it and you're like, well, this means nothing. And so you put it on your shelf. That is the worst thing for you to do. Honest to goodness. So what I want you to do is write down all of the personalities that you've taken, personality tests that you've taken, and just write them down. What are they called? And for me, I know that I've used a lot of them, but that was a good exercise for me in working through the stuff that I was seeking to work through. So I was approaching 40, and I was trying to figure out who I was, and I wanted to own my story. I wanted to write my story, and I wanted to know the why of my voice. And so I started the journey of discovery. And this journey has been, honestly, probably since November of 2015 that I've really dove into things. There were times when I would just take personality tests and put them off to the side. But really, in November of 2015, I started to pull them together. And in that pulling of together, I started to kind of just mold them, and why I do what I do, or why I have the voice I have, or why I react the way I do, or why I approach something like I do, or why was I miserable being an executor of things. And I was just trying to figure it out. So many times we try to justify who we are for other people. And I was trying to identify who I was. And so I was really trying to change that wording. So instead of justifying who I was trying to identify who I was. And it was such a growing journey for me. It was pretty amazing. And so, as I said, I took all the personality tests. Actually, I didn't just take them. And accept them. I actually dove into them. And so that, I think, is what will help you. And like I said, I don't know where you are on your journey or anything like that, but for this self-care capsule, one of the most beneficial things that you can do for yourself is to know yourself and truly listen to yourself and care about who you are. It is not just a personality test. They're not just personality tests to me. They're actually helping me to move forward and own my voice and not just accept who I am, but know who I am. And there's a big difference. So, I went through all of the personality tests and I highlighted things and I said, wow, a lot, and aha, a lot. And, oh my gosh, that's me. And sometimes I would just close them and be like, I can't think about this right now. I can't talk about it because it just hits such a chord, a nerve. And the worst thing you can do is just leave it pinched, that nerve pinched. You listen to your gut because it pinched a nerve for a reason. It affected you for a reason. And sometimes we ignore or we stifle or we move on past things that really still need to be dealt with. And so that is why I journey through my personality. And I've actually helped a lot of people journey through discovering who they are as well. So, I mean, there are many, many out there, like I've said, and honestly, I can't cover them all. And, but I do want to say they are the most beneficial to you when they are not sitting on the shelf. So that's first. They're most beneficial to you when they are gathered as a collection. So think of it as the Stacy personality collection, or whatever your name is. It's the personality collection, because each of them identify something, and each of them hit home to something. And when you put them all together, it's like just the biggest aha moment. And that's what I want you to do with yours. If it wasn't 104 degrees outside right now, I would totally be outside, probably on the top of a slide, because for me, like, I love confetti cannons. I love fireworks. I love celebrating people. I love joy. I can't handle joy suckers. I love the moment. I love experiences. I love road trips. All of those pieces, I didn't really accept in myself until I took a personality test. And you're probably like, well, I don't need a personality test to justify who I am. It wasn't about justification for me. It was more like uncovering and being okay with loving those things. When the world tells me that really let's not be so in love with like so many fun things. And so it really helped me. And I hope this conversation, this starts to help you, because if you're a small business owner or a business owner or a leader or a volunteer or just anything like that, to know yourself is the best gift you can give yourself. I'm not saying you have to have everything figured out, but by goodness, like, give yourself that gift and know yourself, because each of us is an original. And because each of us is an original, we have a gift to give to the world. And so how you are, it should not be suppressed. It should not be anything like that. You should value who you are, and just be encouraged by that you're unique. There's no one else like you, and there's no one who approaches something like you. Yes, similar, but not just like you. And so I want you to value that. I just want you to take a moment and value that. For those thinkers out there, you're going to want to overthink that. And it's not really meant to be overthought. It's just to accept that you're an original. And I think that's really important. So I'm going to go through some of the personality tests that I've taken and just some insight. I will tell you that I am a Gallup certified strengths coach. So if I share more about StrengthsFinder and things like that and Clifton Strengths, it's not necessarily that I'm pushing it down your throat. It's that for me, when I took it, I was really able to accept who I was, and it was super valuable. So along with the rest of them as a collection for me. So for example, Clifton StrengthsFinder, you will get your top 5 if you complete the assessment online. That's the first round. And it gives you 1 to 34 talents. These talents are not necessarily strengths until they are in I call them the bomb diggity. Until you're working in the bomb diggity of them, they could be blahs. They might not be strengths yet. There are several people that I've coached that it's in the blah for them because they don't know how to harness it and to really bring it into a strength. They're not seeing it as a strength and a talent yet. And so I've been helping them, coach them through that, because it's at your natural core. It's who you are. It's not a split between I'm here at work or I'm here at home. It's the core value. It's your natural approach. So that is the Clifton StrengthsFinder. Again, you get your top 5 talents. Mine are futuristic, strategic, so 2 thinking domains, which holy moly, that gets out of control sometimes. And then I have maximizer, which means that basically I have done this video 300 times and I'm never cool with it. So I finally just said, whatever, I'm just gonna go with it. Mine is individualization, my fourth. So I see everybody as unique, and then achiever, which means I appreciate getting things done. Things are a checklist for me. And so knowing the bomb diggities and blahs and just the top 5 talents, it can really, and having a conversation around that, it can really open up how you approach things and how you accept yourself. So I encourage you to take that Clifton StrengthsFinder, open up your 34 if you can. It would be awesome. It would tell a lot. There's also Gallup has the BP10. The BP10 is about builder profile. It's how you are as an entrepreneur. I know there are entrepreneurs on this Diamond membership, so I definitely want to speak to you on this part. For the BP10, for me, mine is a relational builder, so I see the connections of people, and I believe that I can work with people and we can create amazingness. So that is another part. That's a BP10. So if you want to know how you approach your entrepreneurship or your small business, and you're like, why can't I approach it like this other entrepreneur? It's because you're different. You're a different person. Again, each of us is an original. So how you approach things may not be how another person approaches it. And it's better to know where you or how you are approaching it than to not and just get frustrated. So that's another one that I work with. The next one is Colby. Colby was a really an eye-opening thing for me when I was trying to figure out why I was getting so frustrated in projects management. Moons ago, I did just strictly project management. Right now, I do Scrum Master and things like that, but strictly project management, I was getting frustrated because there was a certain point where I just lost interest. And the Colby really helped me and opened me up to that I'm not an executor, guys. Like, people would give me stuff to do and I would get it done, but I was miserable. I was miserable because it was just so much execution in it. And because I'm a hard worker, because of, I grew up in the country and helped with farming and things like that. But that was instilled in me from my parents, that I was a hard worker. And that's why I got stuff done. And so I pull the achiever, which means getting things done, for my Clifton strengths. And I had my Colby, which is a 5772. And I was like, yeah, I can quick start, I can follow through, but I do not implement well. And that's okay. And I was like, it was just like a whole new world for me. I stopped getting frustrated. I was like, that's not who I am. And in a world that says you've got to get things done, especially in the US, it was really freeing, accepting that I was not that person. So then that created in me a way to really figure out what to do next, because I had always done, I had always executed. And so that really opened it up for me for that. So if you're struggling with that, if you're struggling with, I'm a quick start, but I can't complete anything, or I'm a quick start and I follow through, but the middle is a little wonky for me, or I go into analysis paralysis researching something and nothing ever gets off the ground. And so there's that frustration. I really recommend adding Colby to the mix. It's Kolbe to the mix of your personality profile. The other piece, the next one, is emotional intelligence 2.0. And guys, I am super empathetic, even though I don't have high empathy with StrengthsFinder, It's not a high talent for me. It's not my go-to, but I am super empathetic to other people, but I am not towards myself. And that was a huge, like I knew it, but I was like, And self-care, I'm horrible at self-care, y'all. I think it's hilarious that I'm on this self-care capsule in a way because I'm horrible at it. I have to work every single day to put time into just anything like reading or journaling or committing to just completing things that I love, I enjoy, because everyone comes first otherwise. And so I really have to take a moment and just breathe it all in and then figure out how I'm going to adjust my day so that I can have any little a semblance of me time in it. And y'all, it's not selfish to have me time every day. It's not. It's not. It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not. And whatever that self-care looks like, it could be exercising, it could be reading, it could be blogging, it could be whatever it is. Do that. Do what you love, do what you enjoy. So for that self-awareness, that was really helpful and beneficial to me, being kind to myself. So for that, if you're wondering what kind of a radar you have with other people and with yourself, Emotional Intelligence 2.0 is a great book to get your hands on, just to take a look at it. So the next one is I took 16 personalities, which is a Myers-Briggs thing. I'm a protagonist, ENFJ. When people say, oh, I've taken Myers-Briggs, I've taken DISC, and this is what I am, and then that's all they do and they say, it shows me that they are just accepting the norm of society, to be honest. Because Myers-Briggs and DISC are the ones to take. But if you do nothing with them, they're not going to help you. And so if you go to 16personalities.com, you take the assessment, you get your results, you get your letters, and then it identifies with a certain personality, it really has allowed me to just confirm all of the other pieces of the puzzle. So with Myers-Briggs, it's 4 letters, and then each of the combinations associates with a personality type. And it's really interesting. I'm sure you've taken Myers-Briggs before, or DISC profile. So I'm high I in DISC, for those of you that want to know. But Myers-Briggs and DISC are the most popular, I should say, as far as people reference them a lot. And so because I'm a StrengthsFinder coach, I always think it's funny because over 18 million people have taken StrengthsFinder, Clifton Strengths. And so it always surprises me when people have never heard of it. So I know that Myers-Briggs and DISC are definitely, people are aware of those. So if you've taken those, add those to the mix. Do not exclude any of the personality profiles that I'm talking about, or the personality assessments that I'm talking about. Put them into your personality profile, like arsenal, and get to learn about what they say about you, about who you are, and things of that nature. It will help you. It will definitely help you. The other one, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but this is Brand Fascination. Brand Fascination is by Sally Hogshead, and she does a grid and all of this good stuff, but her thing is, I'm a maverick leader, and so my primary and my secondary are innovation and power. And so words that describe me are irreverent. That's a big one, and that actually helped me. And you're probably like, whoa, irreverent? I have had, I can't believe I'm saying this, I have had an issue with authority and people telling me what to do for a long time. And I have no idea where it stems from, to be honest, because I hate to break the rules in a lot of ways. And when I read it, and honestly, I had to look up the meaning, but whatever. When I read irreverent, it totally made sense to me, because when I get around people like leaders or general managers or, kind of head honcho kind of people, I go the other way. Now that's not saying I don't like a good celebrity meeting. That's not it. But it's more like people with authority. I go the other way. And for brand fascination, that really, really helped me accept that. I didn't know. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm such a jerk. But really, it's a choice, and it's part of my personality. It's part of me. And so seeing that as in that really helped. That really helped me uncover a piece of actually something that was missing for me. And so that was awesome. So I encourage you to do brand fascination. The other piece, one I want to talk about, is called the Enneagram. And the Enneagram, gosh, what to say about the Enneagram? If you cannot figure out where pain is coming from, this is the spiritual journey personality test that will help you identify where your pain is coming from, how you can handle it, and not move on because there's a reason why you're having pain, or sorrow or grief or anything like that. There's a reason why you are having it, and that reason is important to you, and that reason is something you should pay attention to. It's not something to say, get over it. It's not something to say, oh, that's just this person, that's just Stacy, or that's just me, or whatever. It's not enough to accept that. Find out the why you are reacting to things like you are, because it's really amazing to understand that. I am a number 7 on the Enneagram. It's called the Enthusiast. We are crazy. We're crazy in a good way. We are fascinated by experiences. We are driven by experiences. Our biggest issue, or 7 deadly sins, as it says, our biggest piece is gluttony. So we feast on and feed on experiences, and we can't get enough. So if somebody's up for something and they want a partner in crime, grab a 7, because we will have fun, and we will do it, and we will say yes, and we will do anything we can to make it awesome and exciting and fun. But we have serious FOMO, y'all. 7s have serious FOMO. So that 7 Enneagram really has helped me uncover not necessarily why, but it helped me connect with feelings that I was stuffing down. And when you are confronted with feelings and emotions that you have stuffed down for a very, very long time, there is a breath of fresh air that comes along with it. And so this personality test really, or personality assessment, whatever you want to call it, this really helped me know, my shortcomings. And it helped me identify with my pain and why I do what I do, and things like that. So I'm a big fan of the Enneagram. You can get a free assessment and all of that good stuff. So I encourage you to do that. Another one, and these two I don't know a lot about. So, but they are two that I have taken, and so I've added them to my personality profile arsenal, but I haven't dove into them as much as the others quite yet. So they're pretty new for me. One is CVI, which is a core value index. I'm a merchant innovator, which means I am all about love and wisdom. So uh, that has helped me just with my approach, which is really funny because I'm wearing a shirt that says love right now, which is hilarious. But I'm a big fan of it. And so that was interesting. And the other one is called the VIA. It's character strengths. And my top character strength is creativity. So it's basically I push the limits on what can be, which matches and goes with my Clifton strengths, which I have futuristic in my top 5. So you look at creativity with the VIA, you look at Clifton strengths, futuristic, and you also look at 7 on the Enneagram, and that triangle totally makes sense. And it's confirmation and affirmation that that I am who I am, and it's not just a fluke or a bogus or whatever. And each of them helps pull in something else, if that makes sense. It also pulls out things. So as a coach, we are, one of my friends says, coaches pull out, mentors sit with, and therapists make recommendations to move you forward. I believe a coach does that as well, but yeah, so that's that little nugget. And then the other piece is the color test. If you've ever taken it, I'm blue. Blue are very loyal and loving and all of that good stuff. But those personality tests that I just listed off, using them all together, and some are free, some are not, some you have to pay, but it is a gift to know all of those things. It is a gift to create your personality profile. You create it, not someone else create it. So if you pull together all of your personality tests and assessments that you've ever taken, and you put it all together, you actually have a story of who you are. You have a discovery of who you are. You've got the journey of who you are, where you are, why you are, and how to move yourself forward. So it's really quite an incredible gift to give yourself, because you are an original and there's no one else like you. Yes, and people will have, different pieces of the puzzle in all of these tests, but exactly how they are and mixed in. For example, Clifton Strengths, the top 5 in the order is 1 in 33 million. So already right there, starting right there, you are pretty much an original. But you're an original anyway because of how you were created. So it really is exciting, scary. I've said it probably a few times already, but it's really a gift to you and an amazing step in self-care for yourself if you know who you are and you start to accept you and your voice and move it forward. And so many times as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, we get caught up in everything else and what our clients are doing, saying, and all of that. I totally respect that. However, if you do not know who you are and you are struggling with how to move things forward, the best thing you can do for yourself is to know who you are. And it is really a journey of discovery. It's an unlayering. It is, it's really amazing when you start to see people have ahas and light bulbs and things like that turn on because of a question that was said or because a question that was asked, or an answer that was given, and all of those pieces of the puzzle. So I hope that you listen to this and you take it and you understand that you're a pretty special person and you need to know who you are, because it just keeps going, right? There's a Brennan Manning quote basically that says, I will not live the second part of my life by the morning program. And so part of that is getting to know you and unlayering who you are. So I really hope and encourage you guys to do this, to not just take personality tests and put them on a shelf, but really take them seriously, put them together in a collection, and talk to someone about it. Because it really is just, it will be a gift to you. And go through them, print them off, highlight the pieces that stand out for you, and see how everything shakes out, because it really can change your life and it will move you forward in the most special way. So just thanks for listening. Thanks for the time. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you found it useful. And I just can't wait to see what kind of journey you'll go on. So thanks, everybody. Love you.